Welcome, welcome. If you got here early, you give yourself a chance to get settled, to arrive. To change out of your super person suit and into your yogi moments, meditation, contemplation. So nice to have an opportunity to be with you today. Thank you so much for coming. I used to know some grip guys back in the day, lighting guys, boom guys, when I worked with Blockbuster. Boy, what an eye for detail those guys have, huh? Every time I try to set up the lighting in the different places that I'm doing videos and Zoom, I'm always reminded of just the humble respect I have for people who do lighting and boom work, key grips. Thank you all for everything that you do to help this world to go around, be a happier place. Whether I've met you before or not, any of your positive vibes, I'm sure I've been able to receive and feel. Makes the world go round. So as we get into hips, I should write this. Probably a good idea to find a strap or a belt or I've used my mask before. Let's see, anything that, a tie, a rope, anything that gives you the ability just to lengthen the arms and legs without lifting your hips and back. Let's see, what else should we grab? So maybe a blanket. So a blanket. a strap or a mask if you have it. Let's see what I'll use today. I'm always giving my stuff away. So as I look through my bags of goodies, going through my days, I recognize, oh yeah, I think I gave that to so-and-so. I hope they're using that. I'll have to reach out to them, see how it's going. Welcome. We'll just wait a few more minutes to allow for any of our fellow yogis who've just gotten here to be able to settle in. Any of you who may know me know that I'm usually very busy in my day, and I work on time management and being prompt and early. Funny how you can discipline and manage and organize yourself for a job or for different passions that you have. Um, Very interesting to observe and become aware of where procrastination comes in. That might possibly be in self care, taking time out like this moment in the middle of your week to put a pause button on everything going on around, everything that needs you, everything that requires your awareness, your attention, and your capabilities, just to reconnect your breath, your mind, and your body. A wonderful invitation into midweek, the hump, the very peak of your week, production, your life, to check in, to reassess, to reconnect, and to release so that you get optimum flow, that you receive benefits of energy, of release, of length and softness within your body, to have a smooth sailing into your weekend. Even if some of you don't celebrate the weekend or have time off on the weekend, still an opportunity to be able to welcome yourself as I welcome you to Comeback Yoga and our hips class today. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Beth Evans, and I am a humble Comeback Yoga teacher. I love being able to experience yoga, the reconnection of breath, mind, and body with you every Wednesday and then every Friday at 8 a.m. for Yin. Thank you so much for taking the time for yourself to reconnect, to establish your awareness of breath, mind, and body so that you can have optimal energy, optimal rest, and momentum, organization, clarity of thought. What are you lacking? What are you needing? Well, when you reconnect to your breath, you allow for your mind to slow down and scan, to notice what your breath is telling your mind about your body, and how you're finding reactions, and then allowing a release or a softening to gain a sense of inner peace and control so that your reactions may change into responses. Your feelings may soften, or your thoughts may slow. So no matter what brought you here today, maybe it was just the curiosity itself, welcome, and take a moment and get yourself nice and settled on your mat. As you get yourself comfortable, maybe today you've brought nothing except yourself. Or maybe you've brought all of the things like the cushions from your couch, the blankets from your bed, the extra mat, the blanket, the block, any of the props that make your heart go pitter-pat or allow for the ground to come closer or poses to be more accessible to your body. And once you allow yourself to come to your mat, just double check any of your electronics. Make sure that this is just time for you. And I will give you the option of finding a nice, easy pose, crisscrossing at your ankles and letting your sits bones or your butt bones just be heavy as you find a nice long and straight spine. If that feels like a lot of work and you're just not into that, the other option is to come down onto your back. That was the suggestion I left in the notes in the chat. I'll always try to leave some humble suggestions for you, so please feel free to give a thumbs up, put any questions in there. I'll check them before I leave. Always happy to help. So if you've decided that maybe allowing your shoulders and your hips to be heavy is where it's at, just check in with yourself. Bend the knees and bring your heels a little closer to your hips. Just let your chin tuck slightly. Feel the length of your spine just as you would if you were seated. Maybe you let your eyes grow heavy. No matter where you choose to be, just notice your forehead, and can you soften your eyes, your cheeks? Become aware of the next inhalation. Where do you feel your breath expanding in your body? Receiving room and space. As you exhale, let your chin be softened. Release your bottom jaw slightly. Lengthen your neck as your shoulders soften away from your ears. And begin to invite this moment into your awareness as you draw your breath and mind to connect. Maybe you place one hand on your abdomen and one hand on your heart center or in your rib cage on the side of your body. Let your eyes grow even heavier as you soften the focus, letting all of your vision grow blurry. Notice the movement beneath your fingertips and palm as you soften your breath. And check in here. Is your mind still wandering around in your day? Notice without any judgment where it has gone, and then take an even bigger breath in. And feel the back of your ribs expand just a little bit more. Maybe you retain the breath for a moment and soften large muscles as you let the exhale release and blow away any thoughts or distractions. Invite your mind to deepen its awareness of your breath within your body. No expectations, no judgment to stick around, just the ebb and flow of your own natural breath wave. Imagine your breath visually as a wave. Is it choppy? Does it have white peaks? And can you soften and lengthen each exhale, allowing your wave to meet the ocean and expand? Soften your glutes and your toes. And be aware of the deepening of your oceanic wave, your own life force, with 3 more breaths. Notice anything that is coming up for you and let the exhale blow it away. As you inhale, new breath, new moment, and space. 2 more for you. Slow and gentle release of your hands. Maybe drawing them down by your side. Let the palms face up to receive energy, receive space, receive length of breath. Or rotate your palms down to feel the earth beneath you, to ground and be aware of the support that is so ready for you, always available without question. And when you're ready, flutter your eyes open. As we move into our hips today, I would invite all of us and you to be most aware of your breath. Invite each breath to be the leader before you use your movement. Let the breath be the engine of the train and the movement the caboose. Just something insightful to keep you aware of your breath, body, and mind connection. Also, too, these are suggestions. If this is not fit for your body in any manner, or your mind is feeling a little too restless, please use some variations that I may suggest, or reach out to me. I'd love to suggest some more. Coming down onto your back, so you will see that my mat goes 2 ways so that I can show you from both angles. We'll come down here into our modified resting pose. This is always very good if your lower back has a little hitch in its giddy up and you're taking the resting pose just doesn't seem as comfortable. So bending the knees allows for your back to release and flatten a little more naturally. Tuck your chin into your chest slightly and rotate your palms down into the earth, spreading your fingers really wide. You could take a moment and adjust your heels up towards your hips if that's comfortable, but ensure that your hips and your knees, ensure your knees and your feet are hip width apart. If you wish, you can close your eyes down to focus once more and catch your breath. As you inhale, fill up and notice your shoulders and your hips, maybe your hands and your heels connect with the earth. When you're ready and you're filled up with breath, you can retain the breath for a moment, but then allow the exhale as you press into your feet and lift your hips. Tuck your chin slightly, press into your feet. And when your exhale is almost complete, then allow your glutes to soften. Inhale and slowly draw your hips down towards the ground. We'll do this 5 times here, but hold it 1 moment and walk your feet out just a little bit, maybe just a micro inch out on each side. We're going to move our feet eventually to the edges of the mat to open up the hips gently. Are you ready? Nice deep breath in, fill up. Sip it in. Allow your shoulders to expand. At the very top of that filled inhale, allow the exhale to begin and then lift your hips. Lifting your hips in tune with the breath so that you lengthen the breath. At the very top of the exhale, press your hips a little more, tuck your chin a little more, and then allow for the inhale to begin before dropping your hips gently, slowly, filling up through the ribs, through the back of your ribs, through your lungs. Beautiful. Inhale, hips soften. Begin the exhale and press into the earth. Lift your hips. Allow the softening of your jaw and your eyes as you focus on lifting the hips. Press into your heels. Filled up. Inhaling first. Press hips down. Press shoulders down. One vertebra at a time. Filling up through the rib cage. Enjoying the breath. Maybe slight retention. That's your yoga if you wish. Allow the exhale before you begin. Lengthen. Let the exhale slow down the nervous system as you lift your hips. Inhale begins and soften. One vertebra at a time as you fill up, as you release your glutes. Find the full breath, full lungs, full ribs, and walk your feet out. A micro inch if you wish. 2 more times. Exhale as you lift. One breath, one movement keeps a moving meditation. Let your mind soften as you inhale, filling up. Finding the ground with such support and nourishment as you work on your lungs and your large intestine. Last time's the best time. Nice deep breath in. And exhale. Lengthen, soften your jaw, soften your glutes. Retention if you wish. And full inhale. Nicely done. Draw your feet together. Allow your knees to come out and just take 3 breaths here. Palms can rotate up to receive energy. You can also start at the beginning, hand on heart or on the ribs, and hand on abdomen. Reconnect your breath, your mind, and your body, and notice. Has your mind wandered out of the room? If it has, deepen the inhalation. Draw your mind back. And let it flow with the exhalation all the way down into your hips. Rumi is a poet, and he has a quote that says, "Why do you look for water when you are the ocean?" Beautiful to think of your breath in that same way. Allowing for the waves to meet the ocean and expand and slow it all down. Maybe you even ask your mind to slow the thoughts just a little bit more. And when you're ready, take a nice deep breath in. Let your hands come to the outside of your thighs as you draw your knees together. Just firmly plant your feet on the floor. And if it feels good in your back, maybe you draw your feet hip width apart. Take a nice deep breath in. Cleansing exhale out. Reach your arms up overhead. Stretch your left leg and bring your right knee in. Plant your foot down. Good. Now I'd like you to please bring your left hand on your left hip and your right hand on your right knee. I'm going to show you this from the side angle. I'll also come around so that you can see it from the front. You can feel free to watch the first interaction, and when you feel like it's working out for you or you'd like to try the rhythm, we'll do it slowly in parts before we incorporate a full flow. So this is the first part where your shoulders and your hips are softened. Your knees might have the left knee might have a slight bend. The right knee is fully bent. Slowly, gently, left hand on your hip, keeping your left hip onto the ground. Let your right hand just gently and slowly with the exhale, drop your right knee out. Noticing any tension through the back of the hip, any slight movement of the left hip to compensate, but bring your hips down onto your mat first. Left hip is planted. That might mean that your range of motion comes up a little bit. That's okay. We're going to take a nice deep breath in and draw your right knee back up. Flex your left toes. Lengthen your spine as you fill up with this breath here. Full exhale, slow and gentle release of the right thigh, right hip, right knee. The exhale brings it all the way down. Noticing any slight adjustments as you open through the hip. Let's take one nice full breath here. Breathe all the way up into your head, into the top of your head. And then allow your exhale to lengthen down into the right hip. Maybe you use a little bit of pressure in the left and right hip. Only if that feels good. No sharp shooting pain, no pushing, no shoving like kindergartners. Just be nice to yourself. Good. Next inhale. Inhale your right knee back up. Nice job. So we're going to go ahead and do that on the left side. Here's where I'm going to turn for your acceptable view. Coming down on to your hips. Allow for your left knee to draw in. Right leg comes out. So first find the alignment that works for you. Right hand on your right hip. That's going to keep your right hip down so that your shoulder blades are down on the mat. And tuck your chin slightly to have a nice long straight spine. As you inhale, pull your right toes back. Lengthen through your spine. Feel the back of your rib cage press down to the earth. Let your exhale drop your left knee out, your left thigh out, your left hip open to the left side. Now notice if the right hip wants to compensate and then lift, press it back down. Square your hips, your shoulders, pull your right toes back, and let's feel a breath here. Drawing the breath all the way up to the crown of your head, the very top of your head. Just notice. Let the exhale flow down through the abdomen into the left hip. Your inhale brings your hand out towards the left thigh and draws your left knee up towards midline. Nicely done. As you exhale, drop the left knee out one more time on this side. Have a nice deep breath in. Let the oceanic wave flow all the way up and then flowing intentionally down through the midsection, through the midline of your body and out through the left hip, flushing away any stagnant or push down feelings. Inhale, draw your knee up. Good. Let's do that on the right side 3 times. 1 breath, 1 movement. We'll do it on the left side 3 times. 1 breath, 1 movement. And we'll move on. Are you ready? Press your shoulders down, tuck your chin. Nice deep breath in. Feel the expansion through the ribs, through your hips, through your mind as it softens, releasing any thoughts. Exhale, right side. Right knee drops out. Left hip on the ground. Inhale, right knee comes up. Exhale first, then the movement. Remember the task, the challenge was to breathe first before you move. Inhale, then move. Exhale, even slower this time, even micro movements. Notice how slow you can go. Really how you can open and feel the hinge. Inhale. Soften the glutes. This is the last time. Exhale. Even longer, even smoother. Breathe all the way through the opening. Let all of the air out down to the diaphragm. Last deep breath. Slow. Gentle. Like you would be talking to a small child or a small animal. Be kind to yourself as you settle into your body and switch. Left knee comes in, right leg comes up. Shoulders, hips, Right toes pulled back. You ready? Good. Nice deep breath in. Notice from the bottom of your feet all the way up to the middle of your eyebrows. Where do you feel your body expand? Through the back of your hips, through the back of your ribs, through the back of your shoulders and neck. Exhale, left knee comes out. All of the air as the right hip presses down. Nice deep breath in and knee comes up. One breath, one movement. Notice how much more you can expand as you notice the breath. Exhale and lengthen. Invite the thoughts to slow themselves as you slow your breath, slowly opening the left hip. Inhale. Notice the gentle swinging open of the joint, the ball and sockets. Soften with your breath. Exhale, open. Last one. You're doing great. How slow can you go? How soft and smooth can you make the movements? All of the air to the back of the ribs is empty as you inhale and fill the space you have created through the opening of your left hip, the back of your left hip, your pubic floor. Take a nice deep breath and draw both knees into your chest. Maybe you tuck your chin into a ball if you wish. You can rock from side to side. You can let your chin tuck slightly, your neck be heavy. Just take 2 nice deep breaths here. Now we're going to add on, because this will be our hip flow today. So take one more breath if you wish. If you need to get any sort of snaps or crackles, any remnants of the poses that went before, as we start anew, your legs can be long or your feet can be bent. We're going to start with the right side first, so let your left leg be long. Bring your right knee up. Now, as we dropped it out last time, this time we're going to extend the leg. Extending. Good. So you'll want your left hand to be on your hip again. You've extended your right leg. You have it lifted. Maybe it's even up hip width. So you want it to be out hip width and point to your toe. And slowly, gently allow your foot to come across the body, drawing you over, and bend your hip up. So now you're in like a reverse supine, drawing your knee all the way back and then dropping it down. So that was the full circle. You want to try it with me? We can do it again. I'll shoot it from the other side as well. Right leg. Left leg is long, toes are pointed. Right knee is bent. Exhale, drop your knee out as the opening, just as we've done before. As you inhale, lengthen, unbend that right knee and point your toe. Good. So now your hip is open, and your hip, the opening of the hip, also has your left hip pressed down. Make sure your hand is on your left hip if it's getting away from you. Swing your right foot all the way across the left ankle until you cross over your body. Bend your knee up to hip, and slow and gently bring your right hip back, planting your right foot down, completing the cycle. I will go ahead and we'll change to the other side so that you can see from the left side. And you can do it with me again. Another view. So this time we have the left side that we're working on, meaning the right knee needs to be bent 90 degrees. Left toes are out. Left hip is flat on the ground. Right hand is on your right hip. Actually, we're going to do the left leg. So left knee is bent. Sorry. All right. So now that we're here, now that the teacher's gotten it straight, take a nice deep breath here. Shoulders and hips are heavy. Right toe is pulled back. Tuck your chin just a little bit and drop your left knee out and open on the exhale. Remember to press the right hip down. Align your hips first. Shoulders are on the ground as well. As you inhale, Kick the left leg, straighten the left foot, point your left toes, and gently draw it across the right until you come over to your right hip. Bend the knee in towards your chest. Slow and gently, left hip, left shoulder, come down to the mat. Left knee drops down by your hips. Let's do it one more time together. Nice deep breath in. So here's where you're solidifying the length of your spine. You're softening your jaw and you're lengthening your body. As you exhale, open up through the left hip by dropping your left knee out and open. Right hip presses down. Extend as you inhale your left leg as you point your toe. And gently as you exhale, draw your left ankle and leg across your right. Crossing in here, it's a supine twist as you bend your knee 90 degrees. Knee at hip level. Left hip drops down. Left shoulder comes back. Left foot on the floor. And you can draw your knees into your chest. Maybe this time you just bring them up in a big circle one way. And then the opposite to be true. So if you were clockwise, now go counterclockwise. Or if you were counter, go regular. One feels different than the other. Just go with it. Release any judgment. And let's begin again. 5 times on each side. Are you ready? Right knee is bent. Left leg is straight. How's that work? Good. Now, right leg. Nice deep breath in. Solidifying, lengthening, feeling yourself supported by the earth. Maybe you close your eyes through this as you exhale, drop the knee out. Left hip presses down. Right hip opens. Nice deep breath in as you lengthen right leg. Point the right toes. Exhale, draw your right foot across your left. All the way over to the left side, shoulders are down. Exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, right side down. Inhale. Exhale, drop your knee. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, sweep. Inhale, knee. Exhale, drop the right side back down. Nice exhale as you soften. Inhale. Exhale 3 more times. Drop out the knee. Inhale, lengthen the leg. Exhale, cross over the body. Inhale, find your knee. Exhale, drop it down. Plant your foot. Inhale. Exhale, drop your right knee. Inhale, lengthen the right leg, point your toe. Exhale, draw your leg across in a sweeping motion. Inhale, knee comes up. Exhale, right side comes down, right foot plants. One more time. Exhale, drop open the right knee. Inhale, lengthen the right leg. Point your toe as you exhale, draw your right leg across as it sweeps to the left side. Inhale, right knee up. Exhale all the way back to the beginning. Drop the right foot and switch. Inhale, left knee up. Exhale, right leg down. Flex your toes. Nice inhale as your hands come to your hip. Right hand on the hip. Left hand on the left thigh. Exhale, left knee draws out. Open your left hip. Notice the breath is the motivator of the movement. And we begin. Inhale, flex and lengthen your left leg. Exhale, sweep the left leg low and slow across the right side. Finding the twist. Inhale, knee in. Exhale, left side drops. Left foot plants. Inhale, tuck your chin, lengthen, right toes back. Exhale, left knee drops, left hip open. Inhale, extend the left leg, left hip open. Exhale, sweep left leg across the right side. Inhale, bend your knee. Exhale, drop left side. Last time, plant your left foot. Inhale and fill up. Fill the ribs, fill the back, fill the shoulders, fill the breath. Exhale, left hip opens. Right hip presses down. Inhale, lengthen and point. Exhale. No need to rush. Lengthen your exhale. Feel the movement as you inhale. Draw your knee in. Exhale. Come back down. Awesome job. Draw your knees into your chest. Maybe you draw your head into your knees. Rock back and forth. If you wish, you can take a happy baby. Peace fingers on your big toes or maybe the outside of the edges of your feet as you let your feet press up to the ceiling. Drop your shoulders and your hips down. Bend the knees if you need. Nice deep breath. This flattens out your lower back. They call this stirrups. A slow and gentle release. Draw your knees in. And when you're ready, please tuck your chin and just rock and roll yourself up. A variation of rocking and rolling up is simply to roll over onto your side and fetal and then press yourself back up. But I'd love to come up to a seated and comfortable position as we get a little bit more into our hips. So just check in with yourself, see how you feel. Just notice, maybe you rock back and forth from side to side. Notice how your hips feel. Notice how you feel. Okay. So this is a funny little one, but this is amazing for your hips. So a couple of variations if you wish. If you would rather just have your feet come together and you would like to be able to place a blanket or a bolster on your hips, perfectly acceptable for a variation of reasons. Allowing for your hips to be open sometimes pulls on your hamstrings and your lower back. So please feel free to put the bend in the knees as often as you wish, and never take a forward fold that is bringing any sort of sharp shooting pain to your body. That being said, variation of butterfly or drawing your legs out into a straddle. Now, when you draw your legs out into a straddle, it doesn't matter how far apart your feet are from your hip. It's however comfortable you are. But then I tend to have very tight hamstrings, so I need to put a bend in my knee. What I'd like to invite you to do if you have tight hamstrings is to bend one knee at a time. So here's what I mean by that. Let's start with our right knee and just bend your knee on purpose, bend your knee so that your foot is flat. Not so that your toes are up, but that your foot is actually flat onto the ground. And then see how it feels to extend your knee or extend your leg. Now I need to bend my left knee for a variety of reasons. So I brought a blanket today just to be able to put generally underneath my knee so that it's supported while being bent. If that doesn't work for you or you don't need one, congratulations, great, that's awesome. But if you wish and you don't have a blanket, then use a variety of things. I use my sweatshirt some days. Some days you can use a towel. Anything to just gently prop your knees slightly. You get the drift. Now here's how we're going to start. So the right knee is bent and your foot is completely down on the ground. You can also do this in the variation if you have healthy knees and you can be out in a straddle, or again, you can do this while you are in a butterfly. So you choose you, make sure your hips are firmly planted. That way you're not wobbling around. So maybe you rock from side to side, root into your sits bones. Nice deep breath in. Let's bring our arms up overhead. So here's a great big stretch. Press into your hips. So press your butt bone down. Let your shoulders relax away from your ears and soften your eyes and face. Let your exhale pull your belly button in and up into your spine, and let your hands come down. Let your head come down and just breathe. Soften your shoulder. Soften your shoulders away from your ears. When I first started doing this, I felt like I was, a little bit constricted in my throat. So what helped me is just to allow my head to lift up slightly. You may even feel that initiates a little bit more of a resistance in your inner thighs. That's okay. Sharp shooting pains are where you back out. But if you find a little resistance, well, isn't that life? Don't we always find a little bit of challenge as we're trying to grow or lengthen, as we're trying to move past our limitations? So find a little bit of uncomfortability, and let's take one more breath. Can you walk your fingertips a little farther away from your chest? And can you drop your shoulders a little closer toward your hips and away from your ears? Drop your tongue on the bottom of your mouth. Take one breath with me here. Slowly and gently inhale. Bring your arms up over your head. And as you release, let your legs come out long. Maybe they come in front of you. Bring your arms behind your back. You can find an interlace, or maybe you just bring them back like you're chilling at the pool. This just opens up your chest and allows for your shoulders to roll back, opening up through your shoulder blades. Maybe you tuck your chin into your chest. You can even lean forward if you wish, if that feels good for you. Here's one breath here. Cleansing exhale, let it go a little deeper. Slow, gentle release. Release your arms back down by your side. You want to try the left leg with me? Exact same variation from side to side. Whether you need it on this side or not, allow your body to create some symmetry and some balance. So left side, if you chose the butterfly, or if you chose the straddle, if you bent your left knee. Allow for any prop to take place here, bringing the ground closer to you. Plant your left foot if your left knee is bent, and pull your right toes back. In fact, if your legs are straight, please bend your toes slightly, protecting your knees. Inhale, arms come up, biceps by your ears. Dial the pinkies in slightly. Let your shoulders relax away from your ears. They're not earrings, they're shoulders. So let them be underneath your ears, please. Nice deep breath here. Engage your core. Lift up through the spine as you exhale, fold forward. Pulling your belly button in and up your rib cage allows your belly to let your spine lengthen. Now, when your fingertips are ready, let them drop down where they may, letting your shoulders pull down towards your hips. Lengthen your spine. Soften your jaw by letting all the little muscles around your cheeks and jaw soften. Drop your tongue to the bottom of your mouth. Let's take a nice deep breath here. Can you reach your fingertips a little further away from your face as you inhale? Let the exhale drop your chest closer to the earth. Good. One more. Exhale, engage your core, biceps by your ears as you rise up just like you came in. Good. And as you release your legs, maybe your arms come back behind you again in the same fashion. You can tuck your chin into your chest, or you can allow your chin to look up towards the ceiling, drop your head back if your spine is healthy. Good. Take a nice deep breath in. Let your hands come down by your sides. Nicely done. Maybe you take a moment, you just check in, rock back and forth from side to side. And then let's move all the way down onto our back. One more hip opener if you choose. If you're done, feel free. Take a moment and lay down. Find your resting pose where you can absorb all of the benefits of the practice today. But if you have one more, let's go ahead and come down onto our mat. Nicely done. Okay, so if you bend your knees, bring your feet hip width apart, you are already in a variation of resting pose. From here, I'd like to just do a big bridge. So if you wish to join me, and you can create a supported bridge by bringing a block with you, or if you wish, maybe a book, right? Those work. I always love having resources around. So plant your hands down on to the ground beside you. Pull your shoulder blades in a little bit as you tuck your chin. Bring your heels up closer to your hips. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale first, press into your feet second and lift your hips slowly with the exhale so that you finish your exhale and your hips are lifted as high as they can go. Now interlace your hands if you can, or maybe you just walk your shoulders a little closer to each other so that now you're opening up through your shoulders, through your ribs, through your collarbones. You can tuck your chin into your chest. And if you wish, take one more breath here to lift the hips higher. Exhale, slowly let it go. Releasing your fingers, rolling the shoulders, one vertebra at a time. Walk your heels out to the edge of your mat and draw your knees together. Bring one hand onto your abdomen and one hand to your heart or your rib cage. I invite you to let your eyes grow so heavy that maybe they even close. Release any focus. Sometimes my eyes go darting underneath my eyelids. Just let the eyes deepen as they soften. Let all of the focus grow fuzzy and hazy. Bring your mind down into your midline and feel the movement of your breath. Notice where you can let your body release any of the muscles that are engaged. With each exhale, let your body grow deeper to the earth. Any thoughts that come up, any stories, any people or emotions, exhale them out. Just blow them away, let them go for this moment. Ask your mind to slow the thoughts as they come. Deepen your breath as you allow for yourself to come into any resting pose. Maybe you stay here. Maybe your feet come together and your knees come out wide. Maybe your knees bend and your arms come down by your side. Palms can face up to receive and release any energy through the fingertips, letting your biceps and forearms soften. It's great if you type a lot. Slight tuck of your chin as you let your forehead soften. Take a swallow, let your neck get soft. And then finally, a full expression. If you wish, you can bend or lengthen one leg at a time. Bring your feet out as far on the mat as you wish. Let your arms take up as much space. In fact, you just take up all the space. Let the exhale come down into your heels. If you have any more tension, if your mind is still wandering, it's okay. You're just doing a great job being you. Take a nice deep breath here. And as you inhale, I invite you to tighten all of your muscles. Squeeze everything you can think of, everything that's coming to your mind, all of your thoughts, just squeeze, 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 squeeze. And all that you can think about is squeezing. And as you exhale, let it go. Let yourself melt like butter. Take a few exhales to let it all float away. Every muscle softened. This is your resting pose. You may close your eyes all the way down, and I will keep my eye on the time so that you can fully restore the connection of your breath, your mind, and your body. If your mind begins to wander from the breath, from this moment of softening, it's okay. But you have a choice to take a nice deep inhalation, bring it all back in to the chest and the rib cage as you breathe, and let it all float out, down into your toes, staying out of your head and communicating as a unit, breath, mind, and body. Being aware of the quality of your breath, and choosing the opportunity to soften, to lengthen, you may stay in your resting pose, finding restoration and rejuvenation for as long as you wish today. If you would like to end your practice with me, then please begin to deepen your breath cycles. Let your tongue rest heavy on the bottom of your mouth and take a deep inhalation. Open mouth, exhale. Notice any warmth, any sensations you feel in the body. And begin to bring awareness between the fingertips and into your toes. Movement brings to the wrists as the breath brings movement into your ankles. Maybe you bend your knees or your elbows and roll over onto your preferred side. Let your forearm and bicep gently pillow your head. Notice any air you feel around your skin and any contact your clothing has against your skin as you breathe. Taking the first shape any one of us took as human beings. When you're ready to be a human doing again, place your hand down in front of you. Let the exhale come first before the rise up to a seated position. Take a moment, maybe roll your neck, your chin, or your shoulders. Take a moment, just release any more movements that your body would like to make. And then bring your hands to your knees, your thighs, or maybe together in front of your heart, but tuck your chin. Let your shoulders slide down your back. Take a nice deep breath in as you notice just how you feel in this moment. Let the mind jump on the wave of the exhale as you take a body scan, eliminating any residual tension, letting any other thoughts go. Know you have done such great work today. Take this piece, this space, and the strength that you've created off of your mat and into the world, knowing that every time you take care of you, it helps us all take care of each other. We're in this together. Don't forget, we have an awesome fundraiser coming up at the end of the month, the 28th. In fact, I have a table. I'm a table captain. If you haven't already signed up, please do so. Feel free to reach out to me, Beth Evans, to stay online. You can donate here as well. We'll be having yoga and a lot of fun as we get together virtually. That's Wednesday, the 28th. Yoga starts at 7. I'll see you then. Thanks so much and take care of you. Bye.